self-continent, integrity, ethics and humilities and relentless action. His ability to build and nurture high emotional continent terms, collaboration and empathy respect. The produce sustained high velocity outcome that are greater than the sum of them team IQ knowledge expertise experience makes with uniquely different. He is currently role CEO of the AIC. He is build a work class business incubator that word works as hub innovation and entrepreneurs. He has done BTech from IIT and MBA from Purdue University, USA. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for kind introduction. Am I audible properly?
Yes, yes.
All right, great.
Yes, sir.
All right, this is wonderful. I think thanks for this opportunity to interact with you all people. So all of you are teachers, right? So professors in the institutes, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So let me start with this. So what I would do, I'll of course share the presentation, which we have built in. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. So today is the first day for your sessions, right? The first day of program, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so thank you for introduction. So the topic that I've been given is business opportunity identification and how you define the criteria for those opportunities and what are the sources of information to identify, screen those business opportunities. So I'll cover those things step by step. Since you all are kind of in teaching mode, it may be a scenario where means things which I'm kind of speaking may not be understood very straight immediately, but if you raise hand or maybe put up a question in chat or maybe just speak out, it would be good. I would try to speak as slow as possible and as clearly as possible with the example so that we actually get some message out across with the session today. And this is also very important for all of you because nowadays this incubation center, innovation, entrepreneurship becoming kind of very critical in all the academic institutes. And most of the students willing to or maybe aspiring to. Is there any problem? Any issue in voice? Okay. So
no, sir.
It is good for all of you to know the basic nuances, basic understanding. So whenever a student has having conversation with you, you would be able to relate. Plus, tomorrow there's also a possibility that you come up with some opportunity, some idea which you want to translate. And most of the institute or university are already working those policies where the faculty member can also become the part of a startup ecosystem, a startup, or maybe they can create their own startups. So that way, this session could be very important. So let's start with this. Okay. I'm sure that all of you may be kind of using or knowing all the platforms, right? Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Amazon, GitHub. Say GitHub may be more of technical side, but yes, Uber you definitely using. Oyo you must be using. What are those things? Somebody has seen some potentiality, some opportunity, some idea to solve the unmet needs of the customers or people and build some solution around it and they scaled it. And eventually today, these companies are, see, most of them are kind of $1 billion company. And they started, some of them say in 2010, some of them in 2000, some of them very recently. But over the years, these companies have come up from just an iota of idea, simple idea. I'll use one company as a reference or maybe use case to explain whatever the concepts or ideas which I'm going to convey here. So if we need to define, how do you define the business opportunity, right? So in our daily environment, or when you look at around, you may be seeing something that is kind of missing in our life. So initially, say suppose for example, when in say 20 years back or maybe 15 years back, we used to go to the railway station and say book the ticket by putting in the queue and the line, and the long many hours used to kind of go in that. Somebody's thought this is a problem that people are facing, spending so much time to just to book a ticket. And then this entire system kind of started that people kind of using now on say on the fly, on the move, they can book the ticket. So opportunity is nothing but an idea that has a potential to convert into a business. Idea is basically a problem that you are seeing, and that can be solved through some product or service that you may build. So these product and services are effectively businesses. So, and the underlying thing, what is saying that there has to be maybe some underlying needs, unmet needs, or maybe some kind of trend that is happening. So today, say suppose for example, we can say live example. Today, people are becoming more of health conscious, right? So they want healthy food, healthy living style, and they want say live longer, right? That could be a trend. So somebody say maybe pointing out, okay, this is the trend. Why not create an app or maybe solution wherein people can get these answers, right? What they should eat, how much they should eat, at what time they should eat, how they need to check their vitals, and basically all the related information in their fingertip. That could be an idea, and that could have a business potentiality, right? So there are already a number of apps. I'm just sharing some example that how we actually think and how we actually translate things into a business, right? So I hope this basic understanding is clear, that the opportunity is nothing, just an idea that has a potential to be converted or become a business, a scalable business. All right. So anyone can give me thumbs up. So I'll just move this way. So if we have clarity on this, then probably next step would be helpful. Should I move ahead? Okay. Next is, now I'll talk about the process. Say how we actually identify an opportunity. So see, typically these things are not very structured or watertight compartment that these are the phase, then you go to next phase, then you do third phase or fourth phase to identify the any opportunity. But typically or generally, there are three major steps wherein you go with some process where you eventually end up, okay, this is an opportunity, this is hypothesis of a solution, and this is how I'm going to kind of validate. So these three things anyway, you have to do, or you will be anyway doing whenever you are talking or discussing about any opportunity. So discovery primarily emphasize on you are basically reaching out to potential customers or maybe businesses, understanding their current trends, current needs, or aspirations. Then you are building some hypothesis to understand the problems, or maybe hypothesis may also be involved in terms of the solution that we are building to solve that particular problem. Once you build some hypothesis, which anyway you may be doing in your academic things also, when you're doing some research, you may be making some hypothesis, and basis that you may be doing some experimentation, and basis the experimentation, you will be coming out to solution. Okay, this is something that works this way or that way. It has so many, it can have implication in this industry or maybe in academic side or maybe different side. So this is how it works. So principle remains same. And these are not very compartmentalized also. So when I say discovery hypothesis, there could be to and fro processes in between. Similarly, hypothesis and validation, there will be to and fro processes and to and fro kind of movement when we are moving to so identify the business opportunity. Okay. Why do we use this process? That's maybe a normal question, right? Why are we following this particular question? I see you can go say, okay, this is the problem. I understand. Let's build a solution. You start it, kind of get fund, or we build a team, start building it, and you start at the launch of the market. Why people don't do this? Because if that opportunity is not identified properly, if your problem state is not identified properly, if the hypothesis is not tested properly, you may end up risking your financial resources, human resources, and time. So that is why the end goal of any opportunity analysis or identification of opportunity is basically map out these three things which are written here. So is it a desirable problem, a desirable from the perspective of the customer? So for example, I have put in out here the example of Uber, right? So maybe you may be asking the things, is it desirable by the people? Means do they actually, would they also want to be, would they be wanting in the future that for the local transport or local commute or maybe intercity commute, they would be using some cab that would be coming through the app, something like this. Then you say, is it feasible? Is it, could it be feasible that you integrate the different say taxi service providers and the consumer on a single platform wherein the consumer can kind of just check it out which cab can be hired and they can use the cab. So is it feasible to build that particular solution? That is the second aspect you need to look into. Third is viable. Means suppose means our founder must have decided, okay, it is not viable because whatever investment we are putting in is not going to come in because of the revenue model or the business model that we are going to come up. So those three specific dimensions we need to look into. So in say Uber case, of course, the founder must have thought in 2007 or 8 when they kind of built in that if we build this kind of app and if we put up the layer of this business model, we may have the opportunity to build a business, earn a profit, and grow scalably. So this is how they thought, and then they of course did multiple iteration in the process in the way. So I'll cover now these in the detail so that you'll get clear idea the how this opportunity identification is actually done in scientific mode, right? Any questions so far? No, I don't know how to check the message in between. A sec. So if I'm not kind of checking messages, probably you can just figure out that would be perfectly okay for me. Okay. So discovery, basically, if you take simple example, now suppose we are taking with a very known example, all of you must have used the Uber in your daily kind of use. So let's take, so suppose you are building Uber, right? So, or maybe you are kind of discussing. So you may be talking to the customers, potential customers. Okay, how do they use right now when they want to move from A to B in the intercity or intracity or maybe intercity, right? So they may think, okay, I have taken the number of a taxi provider, so I call them, and sometimes they are available, sometimes they are not available. And basis that I call them, then they come and then we pay money and we go. So we also need to do kind of some kind of bargaining right now. And sometimes time is also lost. So that is how the customer may be discussing. So, and maybe they may not be saying by themselves, but you may be kind of interpreting and building some hypothesis. As I said, the discovering hypothesis and validation process, they kind of mix and match in between. So they may say, okay, so right now this is the thing. You may be thinking, okay, why can't be a simple place where people can see which are the cabs available and they can kind of call directly and they can pay directly or something like this. You may float and survey also, which typically people do when they do different kind of research. You must be also be using in your research when we talk, when we get the inputs from the various potential say participant, consumer or customers about the potential solution that you may be building or you have built in. So this must be the way. Over started in the US, so they must have taken the good number of say inputs from the potential customers and understanding things and build some hypotheses, right? So this is kind of just in start bare minimum structured process to get the say identification of the opportunity started. it may have different formats, means you can have digital survey, you can have physical survey, you can observation of say customers, how they're traveling, or maybe you may be talking to different stakeholders. In this case, probably you are talking to taxi providers also, because these are the critical stakeholders. You may be talking to different people who may be using those kind of services, right? How scientifically it is done. So when you're talking about the Uber, probably you may be thinking, okay, so who is my core customer, right? There must be some user, right? So just like you and me, right? They may be saying, okay, these guys may be uh, it, people who commute within the city for their work, for their personal stuff. Second message. Okay. So for their personal stuff, so I need to know who are they. So they may be working people, they may be business people, they may be students. So they need to drill down. So people typically, when they build any product or services, they go very, very micro level. In this micro level, they completely know your perspective or yourself. So basically, they become you in the process of opportunity identification. So they live and die in the entire understanding of their customer. So this is how they build the user persona. So I'm using some jargon on user persona, but this is nothing but very, very standard process wherein they are understanding their customer. In this case, in case of the Uber, there could be two standard persona. One is typical taxi drivers, and second is you or me, right? So the individual customers who would be using. So they may be taking all the details like this. What is my say name could be say anonymous, and say what could be the typical age, and what do they do, where do they like, what is their liking, what they're not liking, ambitions, challenges, all those things which may not be related to your product or service, but you need to know as a person who are those individuals, what are their aspirations, what are their wants to basically reach their goal, whichever goal they are in. And they need to map out their problem statement, which I will come and say in the next slide. So this you built in for individual customer. Similarly, you need to build in similar stuff for the taxi driver. So in the taxi driver, you maybe say how much they earn, right? How many trips they do in their home, in their day, in their typical working day. What kind of vehicle people use, what is the cost effectiveness or earning potential these people have in terms of the cost benefit analysis they do in the typical day basis. So those things. So and what other facilities or system they're using right now? Are we using some yellow pages? Typically, we used to have yellow pages where all the business information and things we used to kind of put it up there, and people used to research those yellow pages and call the respective business owners. So what do they currently use to basically get the business? And what are the mechanisms they are doing to increase their business or maybe increase their profit? Are they using anything right now? Will they be open for say any kind of business opportunity, just like could be Uber or any other app? Would they be open? See, most of the time people know it, but sometimes it also happens that people don't know about it. Will they be open up until unless they have the problem, they have the solution in their hand. All right. So similarly, you do for the customer side, and same thing with the taxi side. So as I said, the discovery process basically de-risking your opportunity, de-risking your business. So if you do it well, probably you're reducing your chances of failure. And this is I think the biggest thing any startup should be kind of doing to avoid those failures. Still we meet those failures. So we can't avoid these failures 100%. But yes, there are some frameworks, some processes, some stuff that we need to follow step by step, so that business that we are building has chances of kind of survival, maybe growth, right? So when we say avoid risks, we need to assess this in 4 dimensions. One is the value, second is usability, then the feasibility, and the business viability. I have already covered this one by one very quickly. So when you say value risk. So instead of say building, for example, an Uber app, what I would do, I need to check whether this particular problem exists, and if exists, whether this kind of solution would work. So for instance, I wrote here, you must be seeing it, the fake door demand test. So typically it works on digital products wherein you put up some button and see people are clicking on it or not. You may not have the solution at that point of time. But you need to get to know the intention that, okay, if it had been there, could have been kind of people have been using it. So for instance, if Uber had to test that whether there's a value of it or not, so maybe in the closed network, they maybe put up some one web pages where they list down the say number of the taxi drivers and where people can just search and call the number and maybe book the taxi. They may also make it more detailed, so they can also write it on what kind of taxi models and maybe they can also put it out that what are the charges typically they take and all those information. And so and ask the consumer, say hundreds of consumer, okay, so whenever you need to travel locally or maybe intercity, you just have a look at it and see if it helps, right? In that case, what is happening if people are actually coming and using it, calling, your value risk is sorted. You have understood the game. Out of 100 people, if 60 people or 50 people are using that particular platform just to call and book the cab over the period of time, and if they are repeating, then your value risk is further reduced. This is how it is tested. This is how it works. So instead of investing your time, money, energy in building the entire solution, what you did, simple web page or simple stuff. So I'm just putting in the hypothesis that Uber must have done this. Or if you have to do Uber like our business model today, you may be doing the similar stuff. You may be talking to your, say, colleagues or maybe students. Okay, would it be helpful if I put in this? Would you be using? And then put the information, and you see by yourself the behavior of the people. Are they using it or are they calling it? And if you have some data, probably you have pretty much fair chances that, okay, you understood there's a problem and people are kind of maybe using our solution if we build it, right? So this is how you cover the first aspect of it. Second is feasibility. So feasibility, tomorrow it may happen, right? So if you're building something that is pretty much kind of expensive plus pretty much tough to build, means your building stuff still takes huge resources, and which you may not be seeing that it will convert in any tangible gain and all those things. So your idea, whatever solution that you are building, you need to assess from the feasibility perspective. The feasibility perspective is nothing but, say, build some small prototype. You don't need to create the entire product. You don't even need to create the MVP. You just need to build a small prototype and see how people react. So when I said this web page where you're listing down all the information one by one, people are calling, this is just nothing but a prototype. It's a simple prototype. It's very raw prototype, I would say. Next step, people may be doing, okay, don't use too many features in simple app. Create a small app wherein people can just say, okay, here to here, I need to go. Don't even use online payment mechanism. Don't use sharing mechanism that people typically do the sharing thing. Don't even use OTP and all those things. Just see, people want to book it. That the message goes to both the people. Driver comes in, people travel to one place to another place, and they pay the money and finish. That's it. The bare skeleton mode structure that you create to assess the feasibility. Okay, something is we are working. So value is also sorted. Some feasibility. Okay, we can build this, and we also estimate that how much cost would it be if you want to build full-fledged school, full-fledged app, and all those things. So in that way, you are using kind of prototype as a mechanism to assess the feasibility. Usability. Same thing extrapolated to usability. So suppose if you're opening an app, are you able to select where you need to go? Are you able to see the map? Are you able to book your cab through the system? And are you able to see the what's the amount of money they need to pay once the ride is over? So those things you need to put it up in terms of the usability. sometimes it happens that people, most of it happens in the tech founders, they miss the aspect of the usability. So from technical perspective, they may be using pretty much good um, architecture and flow, but from the usability perspective, probably it would be a mess. So that we typically see in our incubation also. Many startups typically comes, but they lack expertise or understanding of the usability perspective. So when you say UX or UI, so UI is one part where you're just putting the interface. UX is the customer experience, effectively customer experience through the digital media. When you say UX, or broader term you want to say, you can see the customer experience, right? I can put up more other example in terms of say physical products. Say suppose for example you go to the Tata Chroma, right? And so when they design the store, they need to see whether people will be able to walk, people able to test, people will be able to see, people will read the say description of the product and the warranty information, the pricing information. People would be able to see the demonstration by the people who there, and people would be able to kind of buy this system. So they check entire stuff and the entire usability pattern. So where you need to put in the left and all those things. So these entire things come in user experience, or you can say customer experience. Then how they check out, that is also a big stuff. So say do they need to pay through cards, do they need to do cash, do they need to get the invoice through say WhatsApp or email, or they want this entire experience is mapped. And people sometimes there will there have been issue in the physical retail that people hate standing in the queues to get this thing done. So what I saw recently, and in fact you must have also seen in Decathlon, people have used a self checkout thing. So wherein you just need to scan this particular thing that you're buying, and it automatically covers how much cost it is coming in. And once the entire list is done, you just insert your card and get the bill out, and your money is deducted. So this is how it works. So that is also part of your customer experience. So in the physical means I thought means digital product would be just one side of it. In the physical product or physical services, you use this way. So this is how the usability is given. So one sec. Is it fair till now, or is there any difficulty? Okay. So viability, I have already discussed. Here I am just emphasizing those aspects that sometimes it happens. And most of the students you would be meeting when they come up with their idea, this viability part missed most of the time. So they don't see that the bigger picture, that even if they build, so they see people become most passionate. Okay, this is brilliant idea, this is going to change the world, and this and that. But if we miss on this aspect, we miss miserably in the financial aspect of a business. So if we are not keeping this viability aspect of it in our consideration, in our discovery phase, we are missing a kind of major chunk, risking our business pretty much heavily. So when any investor, suppose angel investor coming in, they would see these 3-4 angles that you have mapped out very clearly. So they would be asking that how the feedback you've gotten, what are the surveys you've done, how you are assessing the viability aspect of it. So a whole purpose of investors is to see whether the founders have de-risk their model, so that the investment that they make is relatively safe. Of course, in a startup investment, you can't be 100% sure that things will work. But yes, of course, they would be looking for those processes or data points before doing investment. So this is how the startup, in any startup or any research project, we do the discovery process. Now I'll cover the hypothesis. Okay. So I'm assuming in your research work, you may be using certain hypotheses that why it is happening this. Is it the root cause of this? If this is a root cause, if we do this, what would happen, or this would be the impact. So some hypotheses you may be building. You may not have the solution right hand, but of course, when you are identifying the problem, looking at the problem in depth in any research topic. You may be kind of you doing this in detail, right? So you may be talking to, say, if you talk about the product or services, you may be talking to the different customers and understanding all the aspects. You may also be relating to your previous work experience or previous experience, previous research experience to understand, okay, to hypothesize, okay, this is the root cause. If I do this, it may have this impact. And of course, then you need to do the validation part. So this basic of hypothesis is two: discovery, understanding of the problem, and second is assessment or maybe some idea of the potential solution to solve that particular problem. So as I said, these three steps in the process: discovery, hypothesis, and the validation. These are not very much watertight or compartmentalized in very separate way. They are interlinked and they are there to and fro movement. And when we are kind of researching the problems, most of the times it happens that once we go very deep, probably solutions emerge in your mind automatically. So that people say the eureka movement or something like this. So broadly, I covered this particular part. Now I'll go this. This is very important framework. We typically in digital products use this, and if any entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur, or maybe a student who is aspiring to become an entrepreneur, if you see in their analysis, this is the way they are kind of putting up their information stack in a presentable format. You have pretty much fair idea, okay, this guy has done pretty much good groundwork and they are understanding the basic principles, and probably it's worth looking or maybe looking or worth spending some more time to understand this and maybe help them to whichever way do you go. Tomorrow, if you also coming up with your business idea and you also using similar stuff, you have very much clarity of the idea and the potential solution, which you may be hypothesizing at this point of time. So this particular framework becomes very important. So left side, you see the gains in pains. So what is the potential benefit for your potential customer or consumer could be through your product or services? This is the where you need to write the gains part. So don't worry on the detailing part. So I'll cover with this Uber example. So you'll have fair understanding how these things are going to work and how you need to write it down each step one by one. Pain is basically the opposite of probably gain. They may not be very kind of, I would say, how do you say? Pain is something you hate, right? Suppose if I take an example of say booking a ticket. So if you're traveling through and going in a queue, this is a pain, right? And when I say gain probably you say you can book the ticket from anywhere, right? You have a wow kind of movement. Okay, this is the thing. So this is how you map out things from the consumer perspective. And then you need to list down that what needs to be done or task you need to be done to relieve those pains and connect the consumer with the gains, right? Then you connect with the whatever product or services you're going to build or hypothesizing to build, and eventually and the right side map. So this is a very simple framework. Typically it is used in say product management. But it is equally applicable in any service or any kind of business. So be it an offline business, be it an online business, if you're mapping out this for the key stakeholders, just like you did the customer persona, you may be writing their dislikes, and then you may be saying, okay, what they do currently to achieve their goal, and what are the pain they go through. And if I connect these steps through our product solution or product or services, how they will react, how things will change. So these are the things you need to map out. So we call it the value map. So any business it can be mapped out. I can give another example of, say, let me cover with the Uber example also. This will be very clear. Okay. Any questions so far? So I just thought I should check the message. How do I do? Any question? Any thing tough that you have not understood? They're very basic from our side, but I can understand in the daily affairs of things. We go very daily on those things, but you may not be going in that way. But yes, if you keep focus on the core fundamentals and understanding, these things are pretty much easy. I wish I could have given you some example of maybe. Okay, let's cover with the Uber first. Okay, what's happening? So right now, I am a consumer. I need to travel from A to B. I just call taxi driver, or maybe go to the taxi stand, book taxi, and go. This all. Or I may use the public transport and go to A to B. So if I put up my solution of Uber, what would happen? Right? I can book from anywhere. So there's a convenience, of course. I can track ride. I can pay online. Now, as I said, what are the pains? So pains is, say, suppose you look into, say, typically happens if you travel to Delhi side, I don't know, Maharashtra, I think pretty much better. If you travel with any auto or taxi wala, there has a huge bargain always. In auto people usually don't go with the meter. So there's a huge bargain. So that is the pain for any individual commuter. Suppose they're traveling from outside and they have no idea what to do and where to go, and there's no clarity what could be the fare and all those things, then a huge kind of problem for those kind of customers. So that was the pain problem when people were kind of using the system or local transport without these kind of apps. So it was kind of not very far in 2008 and 9 probably. Ola has come up in India, 9 I think. Yes, 9. And same thing happened in 2007, 8 in, say, Uber in US. And eventually these two major massive players, now there are multiple players who have come in, so who are kind of providing services in intercity and intracity commute. So you have mapped out the customers, you have mapped out the other stakeholder like taxi driver, you have mapped out the steps also. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 steps that they do to meet their goals. And this is their gain if we put up this solution. And right now they are facing these kind of frustration or problems when they are kind of reaching out or moving out to that particular to meet out their particular goal, right? So you need to map out what are the, say if you left side is say paints, right side you need to say what are the paint levers you're doing. So in all over you don't need to bargain, right? It just comes, and of course they have some surge pricing and all those algorithm built in. That's a part of the business model or revenue model, but eventually it becomes kind of say satisfactory movement for the individual customer. Okay, whatever they're saying, they must have thought of it. They must have considered different parameters, and so whatever they are coming up, that must be kind of reasonable. And then it is fine that they may be some taking some fee or some revenue charges for their platform, using the platform. So that is how that the pain is relieved, right? Second question comes in terms of the security. Suppose people are traveling from this place to this place, how secure it is? I mean, is it being tracked? So initially, before the app thing, what used to happen, right? We didn't have any kind of tracking mechanism. We didn't have any mechanism to share this or our family, friends, that where are they traveling, which cab we are using, who is the driver. Of course, not the name, but what's the cab and how they track and the different navigation. There was no such thing available. So it was always a risk, right? Typically. So that was the pain. What happens now? Now happens that, okay, you can live track your ride. You can share this ride to your loved ones. And you can also have the SOS button, wherein some emergency button. You can say alert the authorities if it is going left and right. And you also have the mechanism of support mechanism, wherein you can complain or put up the request in the platform if something wrong happening during the ride, after the ride, or maybe before the ride. So all those things. So that kind of pain is relieved by the Uber. So what Uber actually did? Uber understood these problems. Uber understood different stakeholders. Uber put up this some layer of app or some solution wherein they are connecting and both the side of things on the dynamic And dynamic label, they're leveraging their revenue layer or some pricing layer. We're using the platform charges and helping people commute from place 1 to place 2. On the other side, and they are helping the taxi drivers to get more revenue, more rides, and for that, of course, they are charging. Right. This is another thing that people complain from the different side. They're charging much. Drivers not getting say enough pay, enough return on their ride, or maybe the drivers are getting money say in 2, 3, or 4 days. I also used to keep asking those people. So different companies have different time frame of say sending the money. So, and you must have also faced a scenario that people insist that, okay, they should book the ride in cash, right? Even Ola also and Uber also, they should book in the class. Sometimes driver cancel it. So these are operational issues, right? So we are not discussing that we should be in the discovery phase, you should be going that deep, but you should be going very high level. These are the problems. This is the method as is condition. This is what they're using right now. And if we put in our solution, this could be 2B scenario. In 2B scenario, what could be the reaction or benefit to the customer, how they're removing their pain, and will they be open to pay for that? So tomorrow, if say if you increase the say fare, right, for individual customer, your basically users will go down. So you need to assess the pricing mechanism also, but that is a part of eventually detailed discussion or detailed analysis is a part of the product development and product rollout. But in hypothesis level and discovery level, you need to just be high level that, okay, some price they would be willing to pay so that we can assess the say feasibility and say viability of the game. And then you need to see entire the pattern. So this is how it works. So in gain side, you say right side, the people say, okay, this is fantastic, right? You just come out from your house, click a button, and your car is there, right? Your effectively chauffeur-driven car is there on rent. So that's kind of wow movement, and people actually liked it. There must be they must have already thought of it, but there could pretty much use pretty good use cases, right? So many people live outside their core home, and their parents live in the different places. You must have used this feature wherein you book your ride for your parents, right? So you are safe, you are comfortable, right? So they need to travel from, say, but they don't know driving, right? And they need to travel from A to B, and you can pretty much book ride from your app, and they can travel safely. So that's kind of low movement. And then eventually people connected local travel with the intercity travel also, and people connected, they analyze the rent structure that people can go for the renting also for 2 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. So this is how model evolved. But at high level, or I mean the core fundamental level, if they had to map the values of their solution, they need to assess the customer side or different stakeholder side, gain pains, what they're doing right now, and what they would be doing once the product or solution is built, and of course, what are they getting, right? What are they getting? So that kind of hypothesis is required. So whenever your student comes to you, you need to go just look at it this from this lens. Whenever you are building your own solution, or maybe your research, or maybe your idea, you should also use or follow this particular pattern. This is very straightforward, right? Any issue so far? This has been a little tricky from our side. Typically, we miss this part. We just look high level gain, and this how this things will change. I'll show you the next slide. This is how we look at it. But this is a very detailed one and very structured one that pretty much kind of using. Any difficulty or something? Is it okay? Is it being understood? I just wanted to have some thumbs up or high. And I should not be speaking in dark, right? If it is not understood, I can repeat in different example also runtime. Is it okay? All right. So what we understood, so we did the discovery part a bit. We did the hypothesis part a bit, and then we need to go in some way how we are going to validate it. So we have not built the entire solution yet. Or we in discovery part or identification part does not cover the product development or entire product development. It may cover the small prototype or some even maybe MVP, but it is not the full-fledged product. It is not the market launch. It is not the market traction. It is nothing like to go to say how people are eventually using and innovating all those things. It is just an initial basic stage wherein they are assessing if they spend time, money, and energy to solve this particular problem, how will it happen? What are the chances of, say, not failing, right? This is how it works. So now you, as I said, maybe you created a web page, simple, or maybe you created a small prototype. You just need to check whether it is working or not working. So it's very standard. Typically, we use this. This is the simplest form in comparison to this form that you come in that you've seen here. This one is relatively simple. You just say, okay, this is the customer. So you can put it some for the identification purpose. Okay, this is the guy. This was traveling in Uber from this place to this place. Or this was traveling to say right before Uber. So you need to put in all the details, what they were doing, this and that. You mapped out this, and then you put in the prototype, and then saw that how things are changing now with your product or particular solution, right? In very live case, I can put it up. This I think quick commerce is coming up very heavily, right? So it has put on the model of say Amazon or many big player take a risk on the city level at least. And any idea how what have these guys thought of this idea, come up with these things? We were not even thinking. I was also very critical that what the hell they are going to do if I can go just and say walk down and say buy some grocery by myself. Why should I use those kind of things where in 10 minutes and this and that they come in? But here this particular framework becomes very helpful. And now understand the user perspective. Take example of your parents, right? So your parents are living somewhere. Somebody came. For that, you need some breakfast, some snacks and all those things. It was difficult for them to travel and take. You just put in the Kadam any app in that particular app and got in immediately things in 10 minutes. Okay, that's a simple, very simple use case. And just like an Uber, you're booking the ride for your parents. Similarly, you did. In another case, suppose you were cooking something, right? You said, okay, oh my God, this particular thing is missing, right? By the time you kind of start your cooker or the gas and all those things, you start preparing all this thing, you have things available in the system. Gradually it picked very fast. Not in the gradually, it is picked very fast. Now it became kind of habit for the people. They are not worried that whether something is there in my home, in their home, or they need to kind of pick up while they're going to go office or something like this. They're kind of independent. The massive rise of the quick commerce happened because of this just whoa, okay, freedom. Whatever, now people are increasing this beyond the grocery, also they're spending. So consumer goods and all those things, people are the white goods, small appliances also people are adding it, and gradually those days are not far when all these your pharmacy related material, so medicines, and your fashion related materials and small appliances, all the groceries, all those things would be say 10 minutes away. The machines away. So those days are not, in fact, within a year or something, it will be very normal. Right now, it is more on grocery side. So how they must have validated their idea. So that requires huge logistic, right? Each order they may be losing, say suppose if you order 100 rupees, they're using 100 rupees. They're missing out completely 100 rupees. They're burning their cash hugely. They're still burning the huge cash. So how they must have kind of validated and how they must be assessing the feasibility. That is the level of question you should be asking when you are kind of actually working on any product or service or any idea that is kind of sharing with you. In this case, they must have done this. Okay, they tied up some grocery stores in certain pin codes, 5, 6, or 10 pin codes. They hired some local guys with their bike, and they just put it a small prototype app. They took the orders and they buy themselves, or the hired guy just quickly delivered, right? Then they saw that they must have seen the pattern, right? It is, if it is increasing number of orders per day or per week, increasing, decreasing, what kind of assortment they are putting in, what people are saying about it, and how the retailers or people who are connected to their platform are using it, or maybe finding it. So this must be some validation they must have done. Then they must have done some calculation also. Okay, for 1 lakh a order per day, they may not be profitable, right? If they cross 1 lakh one, if they cross 1 lakh, probably they have some chances of getting this. Then they must have kind of thought of optimizing it. So why not we create some dark stores on per pin code basis, and instead of using retailers micro label, you use our dark stores, and maybe to reduce the cost. So this is how they are optimizing. The whole lot of data science engineering going on in the system. They are still not profitable. They will not be profitable for another few years, but the habit they have kind of put in the people is pretty high to go away, pretty heavy to go away. So that is why, that is how they must have done some validation. They created some hypothesis what's the wow factor would come when the 10-minute delivery and all those things happen. The similar approach you can think of in terms of the Uber. Similar approach you can think of any other model, maybe Amazon, or maybe what else the model we have taken. Even the Zoom, similar model. You can just say before the Zoom, probably that was not very convenient to use the Google in terms of sharing, in terms of the recording, in terms of the scheduling, all those things. So these guys came, they saw the gap, they put up the solution, they rolled out. Even though they were the player like Microsoft team and all those things, but they have gone in the different game. So that is how they identify the discovery, build some hypothesis. Okay, this is a pain point. This is these particular players are solving. We can solve it this particular way, and then they test it. They test it in maybe local market in their local geography, and then they make it global. So I can give a number of other example also. If you guys interested in any other idea, let me know. So that will help. Okay. Is it okay? Should I move ahead with the validation part? Is it okay so far? Okay, that's great. Okay. I showed you some value map before here this way. This is one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is this, is for the validation part, is the simplest one. And another way to look at it is this. This is typically for, say, digital products. But if you look at this and say from the above, it works on any product, any service, digital or offline. And the foundation level or the base level, what you have is there are some underserved needs or some trends that you may be kind of mapping out. So that becomes your discovery part. Then you build some hypothesis, some prototype, then you put up the value proposition. So the gap between, okay. So 1 sec. So what's the question? Sorry, I'm not able to read this. How do I say? Any question? I think somebody raised a hand. I saw, means I just the notification floated. You can speak out if I miss out the hand. That's okay. 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 So you see the last part. So when we say market, this is the market. Who are those underserved people? What is the trend? That's the part of market. Then you build hypothesis. Then you see your product market fit through the prototype, basic level, early level, very early level. So that becomes your kind of discovery hypothesis, and then you test the validation. This is another way of it. These three things are more or less same. This part, and this part. This is just the different way of looking at things. This is very detailed one. I personally like this particular model to map out this stuff, but this is also good where you say detail out, just like in story mode, you're writing things and you say before my product or service, the life was like this or world was like this, And if I put up my product or service, what would be like this? So this is how you very high level you look at this validation part, and of course you back those things with your data. And this similar stuff, but again, you're showing this thing to your team or your players that this is how you're going to do. Then you need detail out. See, so I'm putting things in boxes. Things need to put in the actual things. You can say underserved needs. You may be saying that people are finding difficult to interact virtually from the different places through the existing platform. They have these problems. Then you say, what is the value proposition? If we give them a simple app, user-friendly app, there people can just share their link and people from anywhere can join. Even the low latency or low network, it can be connected. That's your value proposition, right? Then you build on all different features and UX. That's an upper part of the story. That's a part of the product development. But eventually, these little two boxes at the bottom are very important. And these are the basically part of your discovery hypothesis and kind of validation aspect that you do. So you must have been seeing one term written down here is the product market fit. That is very tough term, and it should not be easily accepted. And there are cases where people have raised huge amount of money, millions of dollars, still they have not reached the product market fit. So entire product market fit is achieved through discovery or hypothesis mode. I would say tough, right? Even the hypothesis part and discovery part or some validation part, you may be missing the bigger picture, and it may happen, right? So product market fit eventually comes when your product actually goes into the market. People start using it. You see the trends on heavy level, high density traffic data. When you analyze all those things, you also see the unit economics of your product solution, and see that unit economics is gradually getting better, right? If it is not, say you are getting the customer, maybe investing say 10 rupees to get one customer, but entire life cycle of the customer using this product may be 5 rupees. In that case, you are not going to reach your product market fit. Whatever amount of money you put in this particular solution, it's not going to work until unless you fix in those unit economics. So typically, say investors are basically FOMO, fear of missing out kind of personalities, right? So right now, the whole AI world is kind of shaping. The people are kind of very nervous. They see how I may miss the opportunity to invest in particular domain. So even without understanding the detail of unit economics or giving due importance on product market fit, they put in the money. Tomorrow, another AI company comes in, they just cap it out the entire cost, just like a DeepSeek movement, and the whole investment, whole model, you kind of flatten immediately. So product market fit is very central of any product development or any business opportunity. Though it is not a part of your complete discovery process, which I just wanted to cover this aspect because, and this is very much used term when we are talking about the investment or from the external party, angel or maybe VC and all those things. It's good to have some idea of it. So product market fit is basically your product in the market has some traction, some data, it's growing, your unit economics is kind of improving. You may not be profitable. That's okay. It means you may not be profitable. You may not be even seeing the profitability down the line 2, 3, or 5 years, but you may be seeing the trend that your losses are kind of in unit economies kind of going down on the system. This is how properly kind of betting on those quick commerce thing that tomorrow they may be seeing that, okay, it can be a massive. So it may not be a kind of distant dream of getting these say millions of users in day across the geographies. So in that case, if I earn say 0.5 paise or 0.2 paise on those kind of thing, you're done. This is what they may be kind of expecting. So that is how it works. And the rest of the story is mostly product. You may be seeing it's a more of digital product, but it is equally applicable for any other product. Is it okay? I just spent this product market fit intentionally because it is helpful to understand. Is it good? Should I move ahead? Okay. This is very high level. I think all of you must have kind of fair idea how things actually work. Suppose tomorrow, of course, you come with your own idea, and maybe any student come with your own idea, and you need to assess on high level that whether this ideas work or not. So this left side you have already seen desirability, viability, feasibility, and all those things. This is a very high level discovery process. But there are certain critical criteria, right? How big is the market? When we say market, so basically you are going to talk of this underserved needs of target customer. So let's take example of say Uber only direct. So in Uber, basically, how many people travel, just take it within the city, how many people travel within a city per day? That could be one market. Multiply by how much typical or average money that they spend on their daily ride. The number of people, number of say, number of rides, and cost per ride is actually a market. Now you may be hearing the terms what is TAM, SOM, TOM, etc. These market terms, these are nothing, but it's very simple way of looking at it. If I need to start my business or look at my business overall holistic market, say I would say, okay, let's say in entire India, how many people travel daily and how much money on an average they spend. So that becomes my TAM, total available market. Now I say, okay, I can't go to India alone. I may be, say, covering the Maharashtra state or maybe Delhi state, a small one, right? So I may be saying, okay, what is available right now for me to head on? So I would say, okay, let's say in Delhi or let's say in Maharashtra region, how many people travel per day, multiply by money spent per travel, per ride. So that becomes my same. Now comes in, say, when you say market, of course there may be other players, right? So there might be other providers of say solution provided to similar problems that customers are facing. So you may be saying, okay, how much share of those total rides I can take in say first year of operations? I say, okay, out of 100 rides per day, I may reach out 10 rides per day in say over a year. So that could be a so. So this is how bigger picture comes. So when investor or anyone you talk about any particular business idea, they say how big is the market. So if market is very small, say only say fraction of people, a few people are kind of traveling, there's no point of building the solution. So that is how investors just cut out things in the first go. Okay, the first criteria is met. Okay, market is big, fine. Okay, and what is the next thing? Okay, is market growing? So they may be asking similar stuff. Is there a trend that more people will be traveling, provided the solution is there, or otherwise also more people are traveling day by day? So more inflow of the people coming on the city side, then more people are traveling from A to B, those kind of things. Is it growing? Is it not growing? Is it flattened? This is a second question. So they need to see what's the big market, then what's the pattern, then say what are the competition. Okay, who are the players already doing this? How are they doing it? What is their strength? And are they growing? What are the potentialities and all those things? So in that aspect, they will be kind of mapping out your competition. They will be asking you, okay, how you have assessed the competition from the your own understanding. You have understood market, you understood the growth rate, we are sorted, and what is the competition part? So you need to see how other people are doing, what are your value proposition, how uniquely you are differentiated, how will you defend your position in the market once you roll out, if I invest in, say, so those kind of things. So there's a third check mark. Fourth is the founder strength. So sometimes means idea is good, market is good, competition is also there, of course, but that can be beaten out. But is it aligned with the founder system? Are they capable of say pulling this thing through? Because business is tough. It's very, very tough. So do they have those skills? Do they have those experience? Do they have that courage? Do they have that clarity to navigate in the market in terms of the competitive environment and grow and grow. So it's not about the being floated on the market. You need to grow also, right? So that is the fourth criteria that you use. Fifth one is the scalability. Is it scalable? So suppose you're building an app. Is it scalable? Suddenly it can go 100 to 1,000 to 10,000 to 100 lakh people, right? So that part we look into the fifth dimension. There are many other parameters also, but very high level. These are the parameters typically used when we are assessing the market. So once you understood the problem, you see, okay, you feel excited also, but eventually you need to go into the business. If it is not making sense in terms of the market, if it is not making some in terms of the growth rate, if it's not making sense of the scalability, no matter how good your idea is, it doesn't matter to build in. It doesn't matter at all. Means you should not be kind of spending that way. You may be tweaking, you may be pivoting, you may be thinking, you may be going back. Simple. You may be going back in your hypothesis. You're seeing that where can be a big market, where can be a kind of scenario. So that would be become your go-to market and market sustainability strategy. But initially level, your basic parameters are not good. Probably it's good idea to drop that idea, right? Is it okay? So these are very critical. I think anyone can understand, whichever the background means, whichever discipline you people teach. These are very basic. You may not be from business background, but if you understand the basic of it, I think that makes sense, right? Okay. Now this question comes in, okay, you have talked about the market, you have talked about the growth rate, you have talked about, say, founders, fine, you have talked about the scalability. Where will I confirm this? Is it, who will tell me that what's the market? Okay, I can do some hypothesis, just like people in, say critical case studies thing, they do some reverse calculation. Okay, so many people, then it assuming this many people traveling. So that's a basic level, high level kind of, say, backward calculation. But yes, there are agencies who do those kind of surveys. There are industry reports, there are government reports, which give you enough idea or maybe sensible idea to understand what's the trend, what's the total market, how things are growing. Even the every year in the budget, government also come up with the economic survey. They will say, okay, this trend is happening, this much of investment going to come in, this is the industry right now, this industry is poised to become, say, bigger industry than they are right now, or this is the growth rate they're expecting. So those kind of things, right? So, and then you also get the information from the companies who are already working in that competitive environment, and they have rolled out some their data points which can help you understand. And you can also use other references in terms of the daily newspaper, magazine, and all those things, where you see the trend, how people are reacting. So one authentic report, government service agencies, that it could be authentic, or maybe research agency that you come in. Some could be different views of the people. Then some could be different companies' information that you put in. And you also use that information by the customers, potential customer you meet out, and then putting the data. Then you also use your hypothesis. You also use some of your backward calculation. Okay, then see, nothing will be 100% accurate, but you would be far better by doing these kind of analysis and using those sources in comparison to the going the blank. So that's the whole purpose of doing understanding the what are the sources of information. So I think this is very much, this must be anyway familiar to you. So when you put up any research paper, you put the citation, right? You're writing something on the basis of this and this. These people have been done research, and they must have used some citation, some research, some physical, some primary research, some secondary research, and based on that they have derived something, and you are using that derivation to your research. This is how things are linked. Same thing happens in normal business environment also. You use different reports, agency report, government report, you talk to the customer, you get the survey done by the secondary, third-party agencies, and you use journal, other databases, all those things, and combining together, put in your hypothesis also, put in your smart judgment also to get things done. And then you have fair idea. All right. Is it okay? Okay, so we are close to end now. So this is, I just wanted to share that sometimes it happens, right? Where to look at, what kind of opportunity, this and that. So, and there are types of kind of opportunities you look into. So when I say new market opportunity, maybe untapped market with limited competition. So suppose, in case you take an example of Uber, Uber or Ola are present in city. Say suppose somebody Uber is not present in Northeast, then I would say this is untapped market. There's no competition. I can extend my proposition, my offering, right? So for me, it has become in new market opportunity. Or I can say, okay, I'm good in doing good in India. I'm doing good in US also. What if this market is virgin, say in Africa or maybe Middle East? Things are virgin, right? Not many people have kind of worked on this particular idea, and maybe I can use this and put up this thing. So that is effectively a new market opportunity. Then comes untapped resource opportunity. Okay. Again, you use this. So what do you say? So there are hundreds, thousands, or millions of cars kind of running. Before Ola Uber, they were not organized. So they were not using the full kind of capacity or potentialities. So that was underutilized. And we created a value through the marketplace, and then we are rest is history, right? You must have also be heard or maybe used Airbnb or maybe Oyo, similar in case, and on the marketplace example. There was completely underutilized resources. I have say maybe what do you say, studio apartment lying somewhere. I'm not using it any for any other purpose except I travel somewhere, and it's completely underutilized, right? So Airbnb and Uber and Oyo kind of people saw this opportunity. They they kind of put it up in marketplace structure, and then probably connected this to consumer, and where they can book, and then and the platform can earn some revenue, and eventually the all three parties, say as a consumer, as a flat owner, or as a platform, all three parties are kind of win-win situations. So these are the ways you can look into different kind of opportunity also. Uh, Similarly, request demand. Same way you can connect again the Ola Uber example, that in same people are kind of wanting this, but this is not available. So maybe some regulations are coming in. So maybe you can navigate through that regulation, and those demand can be kind of come up on the surface, and that you can leverage. Sometimes it happens with the new technology, right? So I can give you a simple example. We used to use this, what do you say, Yahoo Messenger. So the old one, people are, this and this. Technology developed, mobile technology came, everything became on hands. And then maybe people like WhatsApp people, they've come up with an idea that, of course, even they have instant messaging facility which in Yahoo, but they change the game completely with the new technology, mobile app technology, and build the user interface so intuitive, so useful that other instant messaging player could not even stand. Right? This is how you shift the technology. You can use the technology in terms of the AI right now, but it's happening, right? So whichever way. So nowadays, agentic AI is pretty much becoming popular, right? So tomorrow, say in your, say suppose I put an example of your university, right? In your campus, every year, say thousands of students join for different courses, and they have queries. They call to your customer support system, or what do you say, PR system, and all those things. I'm not recalling the exact term, but admission support helpline, or all those things. So now we have the technology wherein all those resources system you can put in the AI agent, and a number of people can call, talk just like human to those AI agent. All the relevant information will be passed through, and you just save lots of time, energy, and effort, and you get the good experience to your admission users. So this is how is that you look at the technology opportunity. So the game is very simple. You have admission, you have people who are helping those students to navigate through admission process, but you're seeing it as a technology opportunity. So how will you say this opportunity is good? Again, you use a similar framework. How many universities are there? How much time they put in those kind of services? How much cost they would incur if we put in this agentic AI system in the university? Will they save money? Will they pay money for that? And all those things. So this is how you look at the opportunity, right? Or maybe you can see competitive opportunity now. So competitive opportunity basically, say, for example, you look at this Netflix and Amazon Prime. So Amazon Prime, you get all the digital content that even Netflix may be providing, but Amazon Prime would also use the same membership in terms of your e-commerce product. So you save lots of money in your, say, shipping costs and all those things. So that way they're using it for their competitive advantage for different products. So I'm just putting some examples so that this message kind of moves across. It can be different example also. This is how things work. Then you can see strategic partnership opportunity, onboarding with complementary business. So suppose the company works in US and a company, say, just take an Reliance example, right? Reliance has so many places of physical retail across India. If any company wants to come up in India, and if they choose to establish their own retail chain, it will be very tough. They can have a joint venture with the Reliance company and use that partnership to expand their market as fast as possible. So this is how you look at things. We could have talked about your example also, but yes, broadly, this is how you look at it. So I'll just recap things very clean, very smoothly. We talked about the opportunity, and we talk about the processes involved, like discovery, hypothesis, and say validation, the entire process. And then we talked about the criteria, and we also talked about the where should we get the information about those particular opportunities, right? So I think this is what I think cover from my side, and of course this is always a lifelong learning to work on those aspects. Anything specific I can answer, I would be happy to answer. This is from my side. I hope some points are actually gone through. I can understand because whole lot of stuff may not be understood in very quickly because of course, different environment. Otherwise, they are pretty much straightforward. I hope it helped some way. But yeah, if you have any question related to this or any question related to overall, say, startup business environment, if I can help, let me know. I'll be happy to answer. So should I assume all things gone through or should I understand nothing has gone through? You can put out the question in message also. If there's a limited connectivity, I can understand this. Okay. Okay. Okay, I was told this, we should ask some questions. So let's, how do you see this first question? You put in the message your answer in the first question. Which of the following is the most important criteria for selecting the business? A, B, C, D. Yeah, the right answer. So basically, for any business, is of course profitability ROI. So what's the second one? 2C and provide insight from emerging trend. Okay. So B is right answer for the 2 because we need to go with the authentic sources and the government publication industry reports are more of kind of relevant answer. Okay. Okay. What's the third one? Feasibility. So feasibility is a kind of term which is anyway explained with C. 3C. Okay. Networking events, industry conferences are valuable sources of information primarily because they offer what? No, 3D is not right. Who has put in 3 is basically 3C, the practical feasibility. Feasibility is a practical possibility that you look into. And fourth one, you need to go basically these networking events and all. So basically, if you're B2B or B2C, you are basically talking to the potential customers, partners in those networking events. So that is how they help in networking events. So the fourth is B. Okay, last one. Okay, much of the following criteria are least relevant when initially screening a business opportunity. Hmm. Perfect. 5C is answer. So this was question a little bit tough. So idea is that, as I mentioned, we are not going to very detailed when we're doing opportunity analysis or maybe identification of opportunities. So we are looking at the very high level. Say, what are the criteria they're mapping out, how we build the hypothesis, how we test the hypothesis. We are not going very detailed one. So that's the C answer. That's it from my side. I'm happy that I could interact with all of you, and I'm happy if is there any question which I can answer. That's it from me from now today. Thank you. All right. Any question you guys have maybe anything related to presentation or otherwise, I'm pretty much happy to answer. All right. So should we kind of move on? Can you please let's go for affiliating marketing. So affiliated marketing is basically you use different say channels, platforms to help some company, right? So Amazon wants to sell their products and you have blog, right? So in your blog, basically you're writing about those industry and product. You're also giving the link. In that sense, effectively, you are helping Amazon to increase their revenue. And in as a result, Amazon is happy to give you some percentage of the sale, whatever buying process or entire process that is happening. So that is the crux, very high level affiliated marketing is. That can be related to e-commerce transaction, or that can be related to any traffic that you divert from one site to another system. So it is now pretty much prevalent and used in different sources. Even when the Google search is also kind of affiliated marketing. When people are searching something, they're getting some keyword, there's some link, and they're clicking on it, and people are navigating to target or destination site and where the respective things are happening. So this is how it works. I hope it is answered. All right, great. Anything else I can help? Okay. All right. Should we call off this session now? All right. All the best for your upcoming sessions, and I hope it helped. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Thank you so much, sir. I think Sir has been leave.
Hello. It was really informative session of STC in informative and startup in true and sense. I have pretty sure the precious knowledge you give us will definitely help us on our study and future. Thank you.
सर वेट कीजिए। अगले जो रिसर्च पर्सन वो ज्वाइन होंगे, उसके बाद आपको मैं इंटीमेशन करता हूँ। उसके बाद आपको उनका बायोडाटा पढ़ना है। अ, अमित सर जी, आप है मीटिंग में? So, fourth session research person has been joined. So, welcome Vishal Kadam sir in UGC MMTTC Dr. Vasambal Kumar Atwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. So, I request to roll number 3 to introduce Vishal Kadam sir. Roll number 3.
Sir, I Vishal Jadhav.
Okay. Sorry. Roll number 4.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Myself, Vishal Jadhav. It is my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker, Dr. Vishal B. Kadam, head of the Corporate Innovations and Global Linkages at Kerala Startup Mission, brings over 30 years of experience in project management, youth entrepreneurship, and technology driven innovation. He plays a pivotal role in forging strategic leadership, organizing high impact events like Google Global, and securing CSR funding to support startups. Previously, he led incubation program, designing a pre-incubation program that benefited 350 plus startups and heading 150 plus ecosystem events. His expertise in innovation grants, community engagement, and public-private collaboration has significantly strengthened Kerala startups landscape with a Master of Computer Applications and Bachelor in Statistics. Vishal is committed to driving startups growth and global linkage. Thank you, sir. Carry on.
Hello, good evening all. Thank you for the introduction. Hello, are you able to hear me?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just want to set a context actually. So I haven't informed that I have only informed that to take participate on this session. So please let me know what to do. What are the things? What shall I do for this session? Maybe like any interaction session you plan. I haven't got any intimations. I think Mr. Amit told me that he will be sending a letter kind of thing, but I haven't received anything. So could you please help me to figure out this thing? Hello. Hello. Hello.
No audible, sir. This person.
Hello. Are you able to hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You can share your presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So can you please help me? Hello.
या सर यू कैन सर आप क्या कीजिए बॉटम साइड में शेयर स्क्रीन का ऑप्शन है वापस आपको क्लिक करना है उसके बाद आप इंटर द स्क्रीन करना है उसके बाद आपको शेयरिंग का ऑप्शन मिलेगा
आपको क्या ओवरऑल सेशन लेना है क्या स्टार्टअप मिशन के बारे में?
सर आपके पास कोई प्रेजेंटेशन है तो प्रेजेंटेशन शेयर कर सकते हैं नहीं तो ऐसे भी आप ऑडियो से भी बात कर सकते हैं सर ऐसे आपको थॉट्स और इनोवेशन के
हाँ,
बारे में
प्रेजेंटेशन तो है मेरे पास one thing, but before that I want to know like who are the participants attending this session? Yeah, hello.
Sir, it's a short-term course for college teachers, and I think there are university teachers and everybody.
Okay.
And your session is titled as Interactions with various support organizations in the timetable
Support
that's given to us.
Okay, so thank you for
Business
this.
opportunity guidance, interactions with the various support organizations. That's exactly the
Okay,
title.
First of all, thank you for giving an opportunity. So as I mentioned, my name is Vishal and I'm part of Kerala Startup Mission. So Kerala Startup Mission is one of the government nodal agency which is coming under Department of IT and Electronics under Government of Kerala. And we are basically one of the earlier incubator which was set up in 2006, and we have been elevated as a state nodal agency in 2014. Okay, and as an state mission, our primary objective is to support startup related activities in the state of Kerala. And we used to work from college school level, so we run a program known as Learn to Code initiative, which is basically giving an opportunity for the students, school students, to explore the robotic and the Python activities so that they can get into the coding kind of thing. Second, we closely work with IEDC, which is basically Innovation Entrepreneurship Development Center, and Kerala is basically having this IEDC centers in nearly 515 colleges in the state, which includes engineering colleges, polytechnic colleges, arts and science colleges, and multidisciplinary sectors also being catered through this program. So our primary objective through this IEDC program is to create a pipeline of startups through the college level itself. So we support college level innovations. We set up this IEDC centers as the mini incubators in the state, and any students or any faculties who want to start their own venture, they can try out in this mini incubator kind of thing. So the mentorship and the kind of activities will be provided by the startup mission. So we have nearly 63 incubators in the state, which is directly supported by Kerala Startup Mission. Likewise, like Maharashtra State Innovation Society has been playing a pivotal role in creating a startup ecosystem in the state of Maharashtra. Likewise, Kerala Startup Mission is working with 63 incubators. Basically, some of the incubators have been recognized by Government of India, and some of them has been recognized under the Kerala Startup Mission. And next is like we are creating infrastructure support where startups from any sectors can come and work actually. So we have nearly 10 lakh square feet of space across the state. So our state is having 14 districts. From Trivandrum to Kasaragod, we have facilities. Wherever startups want to use this facility, they can use the facility. They have to pay subsidized cost of 3,500, which includes power, AC, internet, and everything. So every startups will be allotted as a seater kind of thing. And for the prototyping and different R&D kind of thing, so we have been have created an infrastructure of lab facility. Have you heard about the Fab Lab facility? So anyone know of the Fab Lab? What is Fab Lab? Fabrication kind of thing, 3D printing. Have anyone heard about the 3D printing, CNC kind of thing? Hello, hello. I hope, yeah. So, I think in Pune we have a vegan ashram. There, one Fab Lab is there, and we have been Kerala State Kerala Startup Mission is closely working with MIT USA to set up a Fab Lab, and we have a network of 22 mini Fab Labs and one Super Fab Lab, which is the second outside the MIT campus. So this the primary objective of setting up of this Fab Lab is to help startups to come up with an innovative product and do the prototype kind of thing. And also some of the research institutes like ISRO and hospital kind of thing, they come and do kind of prototyping facilities in this. Uh, Hello. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. The Fab Lab facility is also there. And apart from that, we work with startup from their early stage itself. We support from the college level itself. We have an innovation grant facility where we support the startups in the early stages itself. So if anyone come up with an innovative idea, can apply for the innovation grant, and they are eligible up to 2 lakhs, and they have to go. They have to present their idea in front of a committee, and if the committee is okay with that the product or the innovative idea, the startup mission will be giving 2 lakhs for creating the prototype kind of thing. And in the second stage, we will be providing a support of productization grant, which is up to 10 lakh rupees. And same process, they have to apply in the innovation grant, and the committee will review. And third is like a scale up grant. Scale up grant is basically 15 lakh support, but there are criteria like startup has to create X amount of revenue, and also they have to raise some fund from the market or investment team or any venture capital kind of thing. Apart from that, every incubator is providing seed funding facility. Likewise, Startup Mission is also giving seed fund support. So the seed funding support is like up to 25 lakhs kind of support. And so we have been also recognized as one of the Nidhi Prayasi Center. So anyone who have innovative idea can apply for the Nidhi Prayasi scheme also. And so in 2017-18 period, Kerala state come up with an fund of fund program. So it is basically a program where the government of Kerala is limited partner to the venture capitalist fund or alternative investment fund. So we have recognized four investment funds, and state government has also put in money and created a corpus fund of 500 crores. And this 500 crores has been hello. Yeah, 500 crores has been deployed to the startups who have registered there who are into creation of robots which will eliminate the manual scavenging. A couple of other companies like Fuselage, they are used into agriculture. They are drone kind of facility which help us to spray the pest for 15 to 20 companies has been availed this fund of fund. And apart from this funding facility, we have Startup Mission has created a facility or a scheme where Startup Mission will be giving an opportunity to startup to showcase their products in national and international level. So Startup Mission participates in many international and national events where the startups will be getting benefits. They will be getting an opportunity to interact with the investor kind of thing. Then fellow co-founders will be there, and market expansion kind of support will be also supported through this international exposure program. Apart from that, any startups who want to visit for a business delegation, they will be giving a support of 90% of their travel reimbursement will be provided through the scheme. And apart from that, we have a lot of research institutions in the state of Kerala. We have ISRO, we have Central Institutes for Fisheries and Technology. We have a lot of ICA that a lot of researchers and a lot of paperworks are doing in these research institutes. And after publishing these research papers, they will be kept in the shelves. So we decided to create a network where any research institutes can give this paper to any fellow entrepreneurs so that they can commercialize this product and do business. And the research institution will be getting an X amount of money through this process, and entrepreneur will be creating a wealth generation and the job creation through this process. And we especially focus on women entrepreneurship programs. So we do a lot of kind of women entrepreneurship programs in the state of Kerala, and we organize women summit every year so that more and more women founders can come and join this initiative. So Huddle Global is one of the premium event which is happening every year in the month of November, which is happening in the beaches of Kerala. So in that event, we invite corporates, investors, government people, startups. So this is a culmination of event so that all can come and network each other and do investment kind or any networking kind of programs through this Huddle Global. So Kerala Startup Mission is having another innovative program known as Government as a Marketplace. So Government as a Marketplace is a program which is basically the idea behind this program is that any government will be early adopter for the startups. So if startup is coming about with an innovative product, or if they have any innovative product, so government will be early adopting that product. Hello, are you able to hear me? Hello. Yes. So the government will be becoming the early adopter. Likewise, we are also working with a lot of corporate companies. So we have been working with companies like Hitachi, then banks like IDFC, HDFC, and a lot of corporate companies have been working closely with Startup Mission. So one primary objective is to give an opportunity to startup to work with the corporate, like if they have any product, they can pilot their product in the corporate company. Second, if they have any problem statement where startups can come up with the innovative solution, the corporates will be giving an opportunity to test it out. And third is like CSR fund. So a lot of corporates have CSR funds, and they will be doing some problem statement kind of thing, hackathon related activities, and also supports startups. Likewise, like as I mentioned, one of the company who's into the robotic sector, which whose primary objective is to eliminate the manual scavenging. So they have been supported by companies like Indian Oil, Coal India. These organizations has been to uh, by giving work orders or by giving some kind of CSR funds to implement the product in their premises. Okay, and so these are the brief things which Startup Mission is doing. If you want to know more about the any specific sector, feel free to ask. Hello, am I audible to you? Hello.
Yes, Vishal, you are audible.
Yeah, so this is all about the Startup Mission kind of thing. And if anyone want to know more about any schemes or activities, please feel free to ask so that I can discuss more about the topic.
So participants, if you want to know more about the case studies of the startup missions, so we can now interact with each other through the part of discussion and some questionnaires if you have.
If you want to know about any specific sector, because I've been part of this mission from last 13 years, and if I know about that problem, I can solve that problem, or I will surely help you to. This meeting is being recorded. Hello. 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 Yeah. Hello. So, hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, Vishal.
Yeah. So it got unmute. I think admin has not given the privilege. So, so any questions? Like I have seen some couple of questions coming. So many of the startups are closed down. Your institutions help them for getting closed. So, ma'am, could you please come again once again? Once again, what was the meaning of that question, Dr. Kalpana, ma'am?
Dr. Kalpana wants to say that many of the startups are closed down. So,
Yeah.
do your institution help them to getting closed, or means we help them, we support them
So,
in?
so one thing is, see, one thing is there. So as you, all of you know that the success of the entrepreneurship is like less than 10% only. So people will tell that we have 100 plus startups in our ecosystem, but only nearly 10 to 15% of the people will be making good revenue, or maybe they will be going into the next level. The rest of the people start with their innovative idea, and after 1 year or 2 year they realize that that idea is not viable. So that one thing, they will come up with a new product, or they will pivot from their initial idea and come up with a new idea, or else they will do service kind of business. Okay. Third, they will otherwise they will be closing down their operations. So because once you register a company, you are liable to do the financial auditing and auditing kind of thing every year. So if you are not doing the business properly, or not able to generate money, or you are not into the following the compliances, it will be causing you more trouble. That's why people tell them to stop their operations. In most of the cases, people do one thing is like that, they will be pivoting their idea. As I mentioned, like if they start an innovative idea, working on an innovative idea, maybe creating a car kind of thing, and after 1 or 2 years they realize that it won't work and there is no marketability for the program, for the product. So what they will do, they will pivot their idea into product. Okay, this is one solution. Otherwise, second solution, that is the solutions which we support actually. We tell them to create a prototype and do the initial level of marketing or research kind of thing, and understand that there is a right market fit and a product fit for the program product. Then only you go and register for a company. Otherwise, if you are going and registering a company, and you are again you are eligible for this regular compliances kind of thing. So we insist them to try out your idea and work on your idea, maybe creating some sort of prototype kind of thing. And if you feel that this product will have a good market and there is a potential to grow, then only you go and register. In this case, we can see less number of closing down of situation, because already the founder or the team will know that, realize that there is not much potential for my idea, so that there is no need to go and register the company. So this way we can reduce the closing down of this startup companies also. Hope I answered to your question, ma'am. Ma'am, hello. So, do help startups in capital if S to directly fund them? Ma'am, so we have, as I mentioned, like as I mentioned, like we have couple of programs where we support startups, uh, not for capital kind of thing, for the product development. Because capital kind of thing, it's entirely different kind of thing. Like you have to invest in you invest in your money in creating the assets kind of thing, maybe like physical assets or machinery kind of thing. For that kind of purposes, maybe like financial institutions or banks can help. So our fund is basically helping them to create the product actually. maybe a product in IT, or maybe product in tech, hardware kind of thing. Any sector, it doesn't matter any sector, but we need to come up with a product with using a good technology, maybe like a robotic technology or hardware technology, biomedical related things technology. So these technologies should be involved in that product. Then only we will be supporting them by giving funds kind of thing. As you mentioned, like for capital kind of thing, you need to approach for the bank or financial institutions. We will get support for creating prototype from your side. So as I mentioned, like there is an idea grant scheme, and idea grant scheme is basically helpful for creating the prototype kind of thing. So it is up to 2 lakh kind of funding, so that you will be eligible for that funding. Hello.
Yes, आपकी आवाज आ रही है.
Yeah, any more questions? Sir, all our faculties? Hello.
Yes, all our faculties.
Faculties from different colleges in the state?
Colleges and different streams.
Okay, from Maharashtra only?
Yeah, from Maharashtra only.
Okay. So all are into this innovation and entrepreneurship journey, or you are new into this?
I think they are new to this journey, and
Okay.
they will be, we can say, we are providing such kind, means a guidance and a training to all these people.
Okay, so you will be, you are the AIC, so that you are giving support systems to them for how to run an incubator kind of thing, right?
Uh, yes, sometimes that, but this short-term course is being designed by us, but it is being organized. It's a kind of a regular practice for HRDC, the UGC
Okay.
HRDC Center of University.
Okay.
We used to organize such kind of a short-term uh, certificate kind of a course for the academic participants.
So I think all are Marathis, right?
हाँ.
So I am also Marathi, and I'm
आप
from
बोल सकते हैं उसमें, वो किसी का आया 65 में, someone has asked you question कि क्या है, confirm your speaking language. अरे भाई मैं तो इंग्लिश ही बोल रहा हूँ ना.
So I am comfortable with Marathi also, so you can ask questions, and I can answer for our students how we can help them to start their journey for entrepreneurship. So ma'am, so nowadays entrepreneurship is that much simple actually. So anyone can start their own company, but as a faculty kind of thing, we need to help them to curate from the initial stages. What happens, like they will be solving. See, the one thing is like that, for an entrepreneur or a founder, they will be solving a problem, right? From the surroundings, from the day-to-day life. So any problems, okay, so they will be coming up with a solution for that problem. So as faculty or a mentor or a guide, we need to curate that idea. Maybe like they will be they because they have a limited knowledge and they don't know about the external thing. They will be thinking that this will be a real world problem. So we need to help them to curate the problem, and we need to thoroughly go through the solutions which they are proposing. And if we find that the idea is good, and your solution is good, and which will be helpful in creating revenue, maybe creating a right product market fit in the market, then they have to go and register the company and do the product kind of thing. If we feel that they are not the product is not solving the real world problem, then tell them to come up with a different product or different idea, or go or tell them to go for work for an industry for 1 or 2 years, and you just go and understand what are the real world scenario happening in an industry or an institution, and come up with your experience, and understand what are the problems, and then come up with a new solution for that. So this can be helpful for them to start their journey, entrepreneurship journey. So we see that um, as I mentioned, like we are working closely with 500 plus colleges in the state, and what we feel that the ideas coming from the student innovators are very mature actually. And out of 100, maybe one or two people are having a path breaking solution or an innovative idea. So which for converting that idea into product is very very big challenge actually. So as people tell that I have an innovative idea, and but I don't share with any people, because if you hear about my idea, it will be stoled, or you can easily copycat kind of thing. So there is nothing like that, because we are all following the copycat model. So Uber was started in US, and we have formed Ola kind of thing. Like that, many apps have been already launched, and we are using the copycat versions in Indian market. So there is nothing to do with innovative idea. The main problem or main thing lies on the execution part. So if they have an innovative idea, they should know how to execute the uh, or how to come up with the product actually. So everyone tell about that I have innovative idea, but they don't know how to do the product. So they have to do kind of basic things. Maybe if they are working on IT kind of thing, they should be having that IT knowledge to create the beta version of the product. And if they are working on robotic kind of thing, they have to do fundamental knowledge should be there, otherwise the product won't happen. And if they are trying to build the product by going by giving to other companies, like this company will be doing to me, or other third party person will be doing for me, it won't work, because huge cost will be involved in that scenario. So we insist the founders or the student entrepreneurs to build their own product. So maybe by creating a product, they will understand this won't work, and they have to do a lot of things to iterate this product. So these kind of activities will be helping. So in case of this Gen Robotics, they they were four founders. They passed out from the college, and they don't have any real world they don't have any industrial experience, or they are basically coming from a middle class family. They don't have any financial backup. They and no other backups was there. They are coming from the tier 3 city of Kerala. So these four students sit down and work together. They learned about the robotics. Only thing they know was there, they have a great passion. And after this thorough knowledge and gaining a lot of insights, they created the prototype of the product out of this cardboard. Then they created a product, a real world product, with a funding support of 15 lakhs. And they feel that the product is serving purpose, but it is very difficult to port it from one place to another place. They were using heavy metal kind of thing, and it was very bulky kind of size. After the couple of iterations, they come up with the product with using this carbon fiber kind of thing, and now the product is basically very portable. And again, a lot of iterations are happening. They launched the mini version of that product. So this is the product life cycle. So not in a single step it is completing, and it can be executed, but it takes a lot of time to convert your idea into product. So execution should be needed there in this journey. Hello, hope all are getting my point. So nowadays nowadays there are a lot of role models, like programs like Shark Tank, and many programs are there where the students or anyone is getting inspired from these programs or these initiatives, that I want to become an entrepreneur. But the real struggle is that the entrepreneur is a person who is doing all kind of stuff, because in the early stages they will be working as a clerk, they will be working as an engineer, they will be working as a marketing guy, they will be working as a lawyer. Everything is done by themselves only, because it's a startup company, right? And in the initial days you are very crunched with the amount, so you will be very wise to spend the amount. And if the process of converting your idea into product only succeed, your company can get into the business. Otherwise nothing will happen. Like, we have seen a lot of companies who come up with an innovative ideas, and it has been appraised by the companies also, that if you are creating this product, I will be the first customer, kind of thing. But what happened, like, that company or the student entrepreneurs were failed to convert their idea into product. So they were drastically failed, and the company has to be closed down. So these kind of scenarios also happening. So we are only seeing the success kind of thing, but as I mentioned, like 90% of the total population is the failure kind of thing. But we see a lot of people come back with new idea and do innovative products also, and come and become success also. Some of them quit their startup journey and go for working kind of thing. And so these are the things happening in the startup ecosystem also. Do you support business model also, non-technical? uh can you please explain me, non-technical means? Means interacting model, it would be great, because all are here, or okay. uh, so sir, so service related business. So let me clear this myth actually. So there are two kind of business. One is service based business, and second is like product based business. Service based business, we can tell that if you are running a small shop or hotel kind of thing, or any panpatti kind of thing, you are buying a product and you are selling, and you are getting an X amount, right? Similar, like if you are creating some website or any graphic designing thing of thing related things, it all comes under the service related thing. In the service business, you need a capital investment. Okay, if you have X amount of capital, you can buy a product and sell, and you can gain this profit. And when you talk about a product-based company, you are not getting an income in from day one or day zero. In case of the service, if you are investing, you will be getting a revenue from the day one itself, because you are giving only services, and you can get you are uh, not se- not selling a tangible kind of product. You are giving a service, and you are charging for that service. And for a product kind of thing, you need to develop your idea. You have to create a prototype, then you have to come up with a product, and after completion of the product only we can sell the product. So there will be a time of 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months. So 1.5 years it will take to come up with the product, then only you can sell the product. So that's why Startup Mission is supporting product based companies. And another interesting fact is like that within the time period of 12 months or 18 months, we can understand that this company will work out or close it. So if they are coming up with the product and they are selling into the market, they can survive and they can become a good company and they can grow in the next level. And if they are not able to convert their idea into product in 12 months or 18 months of kind of thing, the company is never ever going to create that idea, convert their idea into product. So they have to stop their working, and they have to go back and come up with a new model or any kind of thing. So this is the difference between service model and the product model. So Startup Mission will be supporting for the product only. So if any services kind of there, they can avail funding support of this Mudra, or some financial institutions also are supporting some kind of financial support, which will help them the service startups to grow. Yeah, hope I answered that thing. Any more questions? Any questions? Hello, are you there? Hello. So I think most of the people are not able to get my point. But if you want to know more about, or if you have any doubts, feel free to connect with me. And what to say that uh, so we have been working with this ecosystem from last 19 18 to 20 years, and we have been supporting nearly 6,000 plus startups in our ecosystem. And so we have beautiful facilities in Trivandrum, Cochin, and Calicut. And we are basically one of the top performer startup initiative in the country. So I think everyone is aware about Startup India. So Startup India every year organizes a ranking framework. So we have been consistently awarded as the top performer and the best performer from all over the country. And we have been supporting a lot of startup activities in the state. So one thing is like that our startups are working very innovatively. So we focus on more into R&D and designing kind of thing. because for setting up of manufacturing kind of thing, they have to move to other places like Maharashtra or Tamil Nadu or Telangana, because they have a huge land parcels. So we have a facility. Uh, we are a small state, and basically we don't have that much of industrial facility or a space where they can do manufacturing kind of thing. But most of the startups start their initial journey and do kind of research and innovation, and then designing and prototyping kind of thing, and the product development is also done here. And for scaling up, they move to other places. So that's how entrepreneurs are across the country. Okay, you can see a lot of people have established their own empire across the country also. So this is all about Kerala Startup Mission, and we have been working closely with all other states. Like we are working with Tamil Nadu Startup Mission, Maharashtra Startup Mission. Like was startup Kerala Startup Mission is the first institute to come up with an startup policy in 2014. After that, only Startup India also formulated in 2016. So we have been closely working with other ecosystem also. And if you guys need any help, please let me know. We can share our expertise or any kind of support to create a startup ecosystem. Anything else? Okay, so I'm taking a leave. So I have shared my number and mail ID. If you need any more help or any guidance from my side, I will help you. More than happy to support you. So thank you. Who is the admin from here? AAC? Uh, Hello, hello. Shall I take a leave?
Hello, admin.
I think their session is completed. Amol,
Yes, sir.
Amolji, shall we conclude? Hello.